Hello everyone and welcome back to the EIZO Cup 8th Finals match, best of 3 between Na'Vi and Team Sweden. Team Sweden going to take up the dire team this game. Lost the first one in about a 36-minute game. Na'Vi able to take that one out from under them after a little bit of a slow start. Weren't really getting the farm they needed on a couple of their heroes, but were able to start grabbing those heroes. Or grabbing that farm on the couple heroes like the Luna, hang out in the jungle and left alone that top lane for several minutes, just able to catch back up and eventually just overwhelm them with a little bit more of a team fighty lineup than what Team Sweden really could bring about with the Aura's strat going on from both the Luna and the Vengeful Spirit, and just kind of the ultimate coming out from reverse Magnus, the reverse player, setting up a lot of pretty big team fights, even if he was only getting one, maybe even two heroes. Getting those kills very early on, getting the supports, getting anyone, even the Queen of Pain, just setting up a fight with one hero down was working out in Na'Vi's favor quite a bit. We'll see if they go that route once again. As we get underway with this first ban phase, we're going to see Wisp as well, as the Famlets are going to be the ban outs coming from Na'Vi. And that leaves Team Sweden looking for their second ban, taking out, of course, the Nyx with the first one. They could choose to take out the Batrider here, and in fact do choose to take out the Batrider here. But it does leave Magnus in the pool if Na'Vi want to go that route once again. And Dendy able to land quite a few reverse players that were kind of game-changing in the last one. But there are, of course, other heroes in the pool that they might value a little bit more highly than the Magnus for this first pick. If they want to go like something with the Keeper Light, but they do just go with the Magnus. Go with what works. Go with what works. They can give up the Keeper Light once again. Of course, Team Sweden did have that in the last game. We saw how that went. The Keeper Light just really felt like he wasn't able to get as much done as maybe he was expecting. Able to drop those Illuminates, try and deal as much damage off as possible. But really just wasn't able to get there with it. And now Team Sweden looking for their first two picks. Again, Keeper Light in the pool. Darkseer still in the pool.
5 seconds remaining.
And still spending quite a bit of time actually dipping into reserve time now. Thinking about their first two picks. They end up picking up Rubik as well as Darkseer. So gonna go with the Rubik. Choosing to pick him up to, I guess, somewhat to deny him from Na'Vi. We saw Kuro's Rubik last game, once again being very, very powerful. Able to steal multiple blink abilities from both the Queen of Pain and the Anti-Mage, and make some big escapes there. And now that leaves Na'Vi to be able to pick the Keeper Light that they do in fact decide to pick up. And go with Lifestealer as well, which is a pretty straightforward pickup, I would say here. Considering that they don't have that Rubik that they typically like to value for the first picking phase. And they do have the Lifestealer, of course, for Havos to play here. And they go with the Keeper Light as well, who I think we usually see in the hands of Puppy when they like to play it.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see what else Team Sweden want to pick up here. Now they're sitting here thinking about their third pick. They already have the Rubik, who are almost always gonna see as support, and of course the Darkseer, who is almost always played in a solo role. So we're looking for anything really here. I would kind of expect them to go for another solo in this position. Maybe pick up something like the Queen of Pain again. It didn't work out maybe the best in the last game, but was pretty powerful. And of course the Queen of Pain, just a very strong hero in general. Gives you that good team fight, and with Darkseer you can pull a lot of heroes into one spot, him with all those nukes. But they do just go with the Puck, who plays a very similar role again as a solo, and gets the magic damage burst. However, Puck has a little bit more stability with that Dream Coil ability. It really allows you to corral an enemy team into place. So when they get pulled in by that vacuum, you drop that Dream Coil directly on top of them, and suddenly they're stuck in place. They can't even get away from it. Or they get stunned and take a bunch of damage, which is typically not what you want to do in Dota. Don't want to get stunned, don't want to take a bunch of damage. But we're going to head into the second ban phase now. You look at the lineup coming out from Team Sweden right now. They have two solos in the form of the Darkseer and the Puck, and one support in the form of the Rubik. So they're probably looking for another support, as well as something to farm their tri-lane. Last game, we saw them run that tri-lane, Windrunner, Sven, and Keeper Light. It did work pretty well. That tri-lane really shut down Havost early. The unfortunate part, though, is that their Any-Mage was sitting in the safe lane trying to get some farm. Did pretty okay. Definitely was out farming Havost and his Luna on the opposite side of the map.
Dire team ban.
And we're going to see Juggernaut coming out as the first ban from Na'Vi here. So going with a carry that we don't see a ton of. He's kind of getting picked up more and more often in the competitive scene as of late, which is definitely a thing I'm a big fan of since he is a hero I am quite a big fan of. I think he's pretty powerful, especially the healing ward, allowing you to just keep your team up in the fight. Having that stability that allows you to keep pushing is always a pretty big boon. And if you can get it off in the middle of a fight and they can't get it down maybe as quickly as they hope to, you can get a lot of health back very quickly, and it's hard to deal with anything about that.
5 seconds remaining.
And Team Sweden now spending a lot of time thinking about this first ban of that second ban phase. Not sure what they're going to want to go for. You look at Na'Vi's line, if they have the Lifesteal and the Keeper Light, they're probably going to be laying together. And they have the Magnets who we saw Dendy play last game and can kind of expect to see again. However, it's certainly possible that Funnick could end up on the Magnets and they could pick up something like the Storm Spirit if they want to go that route and run those Storm Spirit Lifestealer bombs that we've seen them run in the past to a pretty great success. And we're going to look what Na'Vi want to ban out here if they're going to continue on the carry route. They go with Lycan. They're going for really pushing carries here, it would appear. Which is kind of surprising to see. They have the Rubik, Darkseer, and Puck, who aren't the particularly best pushing heroes, per se. They can certainly do it with Puck and Rubik. You can clear off creep waves pretty quickly. Darkseer, of course, decent for pushing. Ion Shell keeps him up. Or keeps doing damage to the creep waves whenever he's around. And we're going to see Weaver as the last ban out from Na'Vi. Lone Druid came out from Team Sweden, so it looks like they're banning out heroes for Funnick to play. Which does give the impression that they're expecting to see a Dendy Magnus once again. We'll see if they ban out the Bounty Hunter here for Funnick now. Which is kind of what I'm expecting to see. It's certainly possible, though. We could always see that Funnick Links. I don't know if they've run the Funnick Links since he's been in Na'Vi. If it has happened, I missed it.
10 seconds remaining. Na'Vi's turn to
And
pick.
the last pick actually going to be Leshrac, so a hero, another support hero to go in that lane. Lines up pretty well with the lifesteal. You can kind of use open wounds as a setup for that split earth. But there are a lot of options they could really go for there, and I'm not even sure that necessarily Leshrac was the best of them. Kind of a similar here to how you're going to run the Lina nowadays, and I think most teams do tend to favor that Lina in these situations. We'll see what they go for here now for their fourth pick, however.
5 seconds remaining.
I know Lion is a hero that Na'Vi have been running quite often in the hands of Kura, and you kind of expect to see Keeper Light being played by Puppy in this particular game. We'll see what they want to go for. They're still spending a lot of time thinking about this fourth pick. I'm kind of surprised if they don't go for just another support here. Chen. They go with Chen, actually, so it looks like we're probably going to see Puppy on the Chen, which leaves Kuro to be playing the Keeper of the Light, which is not necessarily how I think they always do it. But they're going to go with the Chen, nonetheless. And now Team Swing get to think about what they want to go here for their fourth pick. Certainly possible they could pick up their carry now, but if you think about Na'Vi already running their carry, there's no reason to give that up yet. They could just wait till the last second and then pick it up.
5 seconds.
Try to reveal as little information as possible here. Right now they could go for something like the Lina to pair up with the Rubik.
Reserve time.
Anti-mage.
They're just going to go with the Anti-Mage once again. It worked out decently for them last game. He was able to get a little bit of split push on. Unfortunately, by the time he was really in a position to do that, the Na'Vi kind of were already at the point where they were really farmed on all of their heroes, or at least doing pretty decently to be able to sort of 5-man it and just go in with the team fights.
Clinks.
And there's the Clinks. Man, did I call that.
Team pick.
Called that Clinks. You guys, I called the Clinks. Whew. So we're going to see a fun of Clinks. I'm excited for that. Fun of Clinks is one of the reasons I used to love watching Empire. And we'll get to see it this game. Hopefully. I mean, we assume it's going to be funny. And the last pick coming out from Team Sweden are going to be Venomancer. Not sure how I feel about that as that last support. Venomancer, a pretty decent team fight here, of course, with that Venomous Gale as well as the Poison Nova. But I just feel like there were better options. The burst damage almost certainly would have been a better pickup, especially going into the Chen. You're going to have that damage over time, which is just going to kind of get negated by the heal coming out from Puppey on that Chen. So we'll see how this game goes. We'll see how the Venomancer pick in particular ends up working out. That is a funny Clinks I'm looking at. Hoo, funny Clinks. Hoo, get pumped, guys. Get hype. Get hype. I'll try and get hype too. I know everyone complains when I'm too boring.
5 seconds remaining.
Because they date Vice Frog sometimes. There you go. Go over the players and their heroes very quickly. This time on the dire side, we got Team Sweden. Giftig going to be once again on that Anti-Mage. Camp Fountain, this time on the puck. No worries on the Rubik. Cuddles, that's what we were going for last game. Whatever this says, we'll call him Cuddles, the Venomancer. And that leaves Iconoclast, who is actually Matrim, on the Darkseer down this off lane. For the side of Na'Vi, we have Grrr, who's Havost, playing the Life Stealer. Kuroki, playing the Keeper of the Light. Funnick on the Clinks. Puppey taking up the Chin, and that leaves Dendy in this mid lane on the Magnus.
30 seconds to battle.
So see how these lanes end up going. It doesn't look like Puppey is going to be down towards the bottom lane, which means they're going to be running an offensive tri-lane with only 2 heroes. So actually an offensive dual lane. Up in that top lane, Keeper of the Light and the Nakes. Definitely not the strongest dual lane of all time, and the regen ring is spawn Upper River. Which really doesn't do anything. Looks like Kuro will be able to take the regen rune, however, get his mana back up. This game is available in the Dota 2 client if you guys want to go for it. Feel free to join Channel Kanaz in game, and you can right click on me and click the watch game, and you'll be able to get in. If you don't want to listen to my voice, you don't like me, you just want to watch it on your own, whatever. I don't blame anyone for anything. So, tri-lane gonna be defensive this time from Team Sweden. They're gonna have these 2 supports hanging out here. Looks like Havos wants to go for pulls. Unfortunately, there is a Snake Man standing in the creep spawn, blocking it up for as long as possible. Doesn't really need to do anything else with his time, it seems. In the meantime, Matrim on this Darkseer, cutting off the creep wave in the bottom lane. Trying to keep that pressure on Funnick on this Clinks while he tries to farm down there. Cuddles this Venomancer, trying to harass Havost back a little bit. He's going to run into the neutrals. Take some harass as a result of that, but should be able to get away. Also was able to steal this creep. Sweet. Mid lane going to be this Puck versus Magnus matchup. Should be a pretty decent matchup for the Puck. Has a lot of nukes. Doesn't have the best base damage early on, of course. So can't do a ton. Looks like Havos going in on the top lane. The Illuminate going to fly through as well. Doing a lot of damage to Give Take, but it looks like Havos is going to be the one who goes down. And now Kuro in some trouble as well. Trying to go for the revenge kill on enemies, but not really going to be able to get it.
I came here to be tested.
And in the meantime, Kuro trying to get some mana back up with a clarity. But his first blood going the way of Team Sweden in this tri-lane versus dual lane. Not particularly surprising, considering it was a dual lane running into a pretty decent tri-lane. Of course, Venomancer very strong early on in the game with that Venomous Scale, an ability that really becomes kind of worse as the game goes on. Heroes get faster. But level 1, that 50% movement speed slow is pretty much brutal. There's not really a good way to get through. Illuminate gonna fly through now on this creep wave. Not gonna be able to kill off that neutral, unfortunately. Vo's trying to get some last hits. Chen kindly setting them up for him with the Dark Troll. Puppy now can get slowed up by the Gale. Gifted gonna blink in. It's gonna be death of Puppy. The deny though from Kuro on the Keeper Light. Now Vo's trying to do damage to his aim mage. The Illuminate gonna fly through. It doesn't look like it's gonna land on anything. That decreased range, or width rather, really coming back to hurt him there. Trying to get the deny on that creep as well. Not going to be able to do it. No mana for another Gale on Cuddles here. So not going to be able to send anything else up there, but that is another death at least up in the top lane, even if it was a deny. And Kuro going to have to chakra himself back up from basically completely empty on mana. Blows being traded in this mid lane, not too surprising there. Both have a lot of harassing nukes. That shockwave gonna hit. A little bit slow on the reflexes for that phase shift. It looks like Havos is transitioning towards this bottom lane, maybe thinking about jungling a little bit. He doesn't have any mana, so really can't go for a kill on Mage on this Darkseer anyways. Okay. Not really doing too much of anything, just kind of upset that he's not getting farm, I would assume. So gonna hang out down there and ruin Funnick's life and the Clinks. Then he's gonna find an illusion rune in the lower river. Uses it to fill his bottle, pops it immediately to fill that heal back up, and then bottle crows. Taking full advantage of having this Weasel Crow. Fun to continue to get the best of the farm, really. This bottom lane, they're just kind of trading down here between the Darkseer and the Clinks. Going 28-0 to 27-0. And a miskill. Any mage gets a kill on Keeper Light in the top lane. Not sure what Kuro was doing out that far by himself to get picked off right around here. You can see the blood spill right there. Kinda gotta be prepared for that when you're left alone up in the top lane. Probably just channeling some Illuminates. Not even attempting to kill the Crow. Probably figures he doesn't have it. Smoke coming up from the supports now on the Team Sweden. Looks like they're gonna try and come around and set something up on this Magnus. They do have the telekinesis to kind of set up the Gale, but oh, Dreamcoil gonna be there as well. And the Illusory able to try and do as much damage as possible. The Fade Bolt gonna hit, but Dendi gonna be able to barely get out of range. Puck phase shifting to dodge some hits from that tower. And Chen has appeared in the mid lane now. All he has is smoke and 800 gold. And Dendi gets his bottle back. Gonna use the heal back up and then send it back on the Crow. Phase shifts continuing to dodge the shockwave spam coming out from Magnus in that mid lane. Looks like the rune spawned bottom. Did he get killed? Okay. I don't know where that rune went. No one picked it up. How about just jungling on the life stealers, giving up on that top lane? Too hard. We'll just leave Keeper Light up there to maybe get some farm and some levels. Trying his best to do whatever he can up in this top lane while he has the moment. Gonna send these Illuminates through. Gets him some farm and some levels. As well as he can stay relatively safe, just kind of sit far back and illuminate channel. But anytime a support comes up here, if they get slows on him, if they get telekinesis on him with like the Venomancer around, and he gets that Gale, it's gonna be his death. It might be worth it. Gonna channel Illuminate through. Gale gonna miss from Cuddles here. It's gonna allow Crow to just get away and farm up this ward actually. Free money. Dendy dodging a loser up in the mid lane. So doing okay. First player gonna miss from Dendy. So Puck not gonna go down. Chain lightning spam coming out from this Harpy Stormcaller, however. Super annoying now that has like costs 50 mana and he has 540. Get your spam on. Just gonna sit there and probably murder some creep waves. Illuminate gonna fly through from the Keeper Light. There's also a Wild Wing sitting up here. Not sure what he's doing up here, if he's just preparing to use a tornado or Chen just doesn't think he wants him. But he's hanging out.
Dire's middle tower.
Maybe gotta
is
drop
under
the tornado for a slow in case Keeper Light gets in trouble. Looks like Dendy thinking about skewering Puck there, not gonna really go through with it. Keeper Light, maybe in some trouble. Lane Ward gonna get dropped here. And nothing gonna come of it once again. Though it is gonna keep Kuro back so he can't just illuminate spam on that particular creep wave. Well, it's so far on the other side. Looks like Matron might be going for Clinks here. At least keeping him off the tower. Getting ever closer to having an Oblivion Staff, and then can go for the Orchid Rush. Amage has taken the lead in terms of last hits now. Only a couple ahead, 5 at the moment, ahead of the Clinks. So not sitting too far ahead. And it looks like Chen might be thinking about going for something down here. Fortunately, Darkseer, not the easiest hero to kill, especially without any actual disables between the three heroes that are down here. Puppy, trying to rock the blocks. Not gonna be able to get it. Oh, Matron. Getting tickled there, down to about 50 health, 70, 80 health. Way low. Gonna survive. In the meantime, Dendy getting kills they really should be able to get again. Used the reverse polarity for it, so I guess he deserves it.
Dire's middle tower.
Trying to check out this top lane with these supports just really aren't doing anything. They're seeing smoke like they want to go for a kill and keep her alight, but Kuro's not ever really moving far forward. Gonna get caught by a telekinesis. It looks like this Rupik is faster. It does have boots. Oh no, keep her light's faster. Thought he was gonna have it, but he doesn't. So more time wasted. Another smoke wasted. Should have figured Crow had boots. He's just been sitting up here illuminating waves. Should have some kind of farm, right?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A little bit of pressure finally coming back the way of the Dire in this bottom lane. Pushing onto their tier 1 tower. Looks like a Hasten gonna get bottled up there by the Puck. Dendy not willing to really go for it as he has no mana whatsoever and his bottle isn't there. Not feeling safe, not feeling comfortable, just has to give up the rune. It looks like Keeper Light gonna be in some trouble in this top lane. Nothing really gonna save him. He's trying to get away. The tornado buying as much time as possible, but with the telekinesis, it's gonna be his death. And Image getting that last hit. In the meantime, Puppy once again in this mid lane and Chen. Walking around with this Stormcrafter. Looks like he wants to get Puck the old Chain Lightning. Not really doing a ton this game, kind of just wandering around with this Harpy. Saying, yeah, get ready, lightning.
Dire's bottom tower.
He's had this Wild Wing kind of constantly up here, sort of channeling tornadoes to try and keep Kuro a little bit safer. Some pressure coming on this tier 1 tower with the Image and the 2 supports, but not a ton. Image getting ever closer to that Battle Fury. Still a ways away. It's not going to have it in the near future, still like 1600 gold away or so. Klink's getting closer to the Orchid as well, however. With that last hit, almost has enough for the second Oblivion Staff, so he'll be sitting about 800 gold away now. Toss a few Searing Arrows the way of the Darkseer. He does appear to be going for a mech. Pops that buckler. Give that armor to his creep wave. Looks like he does want to pressure this tower as much as possible down here. Not a ton going on. Haste Rune going to be popped by Puck. He finds an Invis Rune as well. Up in the top lane. Just going to pop that immediately as well. Try and probably set up a gank somewhere. It looks to be in the bottom lane on the Klings. Sitting down here, haste, invisible. Pretty much the two runes he wants the most. Dust's gonna come out now on Funnick, and that's probably gonna be his death. Dream Call even getting used here. Gonna go invisible, trying to buy as much time as possible. The Hand of God coming out from Chen, but with that vacuum going to go down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So, gonna be able to get that gank off successfully. Na'Vi now staying 5-1. First player gonna come off on the Darkseer, and they get skewered into the fountain. It's gonna be his death, Chen getting the last hit. Puck going in, maybe a little too aggressively, and that phase shift not gonna save you. Lifestealer getting the last hit, so 2 revenge kills coming right back the way of Na'Vi. In this bottom lane, Crow continuing to channel Illuminates on this Anti-Mage. Claymore and a Voidstone up on him now, so he's getting ever closer to the Battle Fury. Only 850 gold away now. Yeah, guys, don't worry. Kuro's up in this top lane getting them levels and farm. He's up to level 7. And Dendy has that Blink Dagger up. Chose to go the Treads Dagger build once again. We'll see who goes for mech. Kind of expected to be this Keeper Light who's just been sitting here channeling Illuminates through creep waves.
'Tis not for thee.
Has basically infinite mana for that Anti-Mage to burn off, which is kind of concerning. Anytime the Anti-Mage is going to blink in, he'll be able to do a ton of damage to Kuro.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Puck gets a deny on the mid-tier one.
Denied.
Now Lifestealer's hanging out in this bottom lane. Looks like he wants to go for something down here. Gonna get the open wounds off on the Venomancer. There is a Surge Harbor. The stun comes off from the Centaur there. It's gonna be his death. Magic's able to get that last hit with the double damage rune pop. So good clap coming out from the Centaur there, able to set up that kill on the Venomancer, keeping him in place long enough for the Magnus to arrive. Havos starting to get kind of farmed here. He did get the Midas. He's been sitting in the jungle for quite some time, trying to get up that armlet, but still kind of behind. The Anti-Mage has been just left alone in the top lane. Looks like he's getting back now. A little harass coming on him. Looks like reverse polarity was probably used on him, but he was able to get away. Surviving for the time being. Now farming up in the dire jungle. How close? Is that Battle Fury for him? Not quite. Only about 100 gold away. Really wants to probably get this Battle Fury up so he can start ricing in the jungle. Has the treads as well, so not the slowest time. Missing kills in the mid lane. Funks a little bit up the Rubik with that Orchid picked up. Meantime, Magnus able to kill Venomancer. Trying to watch Clinks going on this Puck. Orchid is going to be off cooldown. The dust comes out from Matrim, however, and then the Dream Coil Funnick in over his head all of a sudden and going to get pulled in. His death, the channel going to come through, but not in time to do anything. So, they end up getting a kill on the Venomancer in the Dire Jungle, but they lose their Clinks near the Roche Pit. Good little play there from Team Sweden. Puck basically just baiting out Funnick to go on him. Until the Darkseer arrives. In the meantime, Kuro now getting chased back once again by Anti-Mage. He does have that Battle Fury up finally. 16.5 minutes, not the slowest time, but not the fastest either.
Radiant's bottom
Has those
tower
treads
is
as well,
under
however, so
attack.
it's a pretty decent time.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And he's going to start getting pretty big farm as he can just hang out. Farming on those in the jungle as well as the top lane whenever the creep wave gets a little bit closer to his tower. He feels safe. He's probably felt safe most of this game, however, since it's just been a Keeper Light sitting there spamming Illuminate at him. Not the hardest spell to dodge anymore since they were able to lower. It got nerfed a little bit. The
Radiant's middle
radius, I
tower
guess.
is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Dominating.
Okay, I need to turn my chat off again. Magnus able to get another solo kill in the mid lane with that reverse polarity. Then he's just not afraid at all to use these reverse polarities on one hero. And keeps getting the kills with him, so it's working out for him. And if Na'Vi aren't really willing to team fight early, probably fine. Klink's gonna get the kill. Actually, wow. Hand of God stolen there by Rubik. Able to keep himself alive for a moment. Gifting trying to do whatever he can. Klinks is slowed up by the Venom Scale. Needs to be careful, and it's gonna get sent back to base by the Chen. Hand of God, a good pick off for Rubik to steal. Actually, several abilities that are pretty good to steal from Chen. Holy Persuasion, not the best, since I believe when you lose the spell, they die. Iconoclast runs in, gets a vacuum on the two supports. Not going to be able to do a ton with it. Klinks is once again hanging out. Meantime, Vos does take down the tier 1 tower. In the bottom lane, looks like he wants to get a kill on this Darkseer. Not going to be able to spot him out. And now hanging out in lane, if he waits here for a couple more seconds, he's going to spot out this Rubik. Oh, poor Rubik.
Regeneration.
He just wants him to get away from the tower, I think. Sentry Ward going to get dropped. Maybe think it's possible Funny stepped in the tower range there. Revealed himself just for a moment. I'm going to Death Pact and Ogre up. Now I'm going to spot out this Darkseer. Darkseer kind of tanky, however. Needs to also make sure he drops that Orchid.
Dire's top tower
If he wants to go for that
attack.
kill, just to at least keep the Surge off him. Just going to be able to use now and gets away. Funny going to find out Rubik, however. And he dies immediately. Meantime, Puppy chasing the Venom Answer. The Gale going to come off on him, not able to do a ton. Klink's dealing some damage to the Darkseer, going to chase him back. And Dendy gets
Dire's
a
top tower has been denied.
This Puck just keeps getting killed by Dendy wherever he goes. Trying to watch these heroes chasing each other in the jungle and missing kills. My bad, guys. Funny continue to just farm. He has the Death Pact up. See if he goes. Mitchum not going to be able to use the Orchid in time, so he's just going to run away in the Darkseer. Not too bad, not too bad. Has quite a bit of HP because of that Death Pact, something about 1500. Illuminate going to fly through Keeper Light. Looks like they might be thinking about just going for a push on this tier 2. They have 4 of their 5 heroes up here. And of course, Funnick does a lot of damage, especially with this Empower to these towers.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna pop the Strafe, the Glyph just get used by Team Sweden. But the Creep Wave gonna get killed off as well, and now they have a Creep Wave sitting here to take it, which they didn't really have before. Can they do anything about this tower going on? It doesn't even look like they're gonna try. They're just backing off. And Funnick gonna get the last hit on
Dire's
this
top
place.
tower has fallen.
Looks to be going for a Crystallis with that Blades of Attack picked up. In the meantime, Vos getting chased in this bottom lane by Animage. As well as the Darkseer, and the Animage ult gonna fly through, and it's gonna be Death of Host. It looks like getting a slap fight finally with Animage, able to do quite a bit of damage to him. I'm surprised he waited that long to try that. Wait till he's low on HP, and he's gonna buy back. Looks like he's going for an Orchid of his own, still pretty far off of it, about 1500 gold. And his allies, in the meantime, in the enemy base. Skewer kind of comes through, lands on 3, all 3 of them gonna die immediately. Double kill for Dendy, as well as a kill for Chen on the Puck. Puck just not really phase shifting that right, gets pulled through by the Skewer as well, I think. And that's gonna be barracks for Na'Vi. Kind of nonchalantly, just pushing up this top lane. The buyback from Ravos brings him up there. With the Keeper of the Light, recall ability. Now, the wall comes out from Darkseer, gonna get everyone in it with the vacuum, but they already lost tier 3 and Rax. Seems moderately problematic, losing your base. Now they're trying to kill Funnick. Unfortunately, he's super tanky, gets a kill on 1, gets a kill on 2. Keeper Light actually getting that last hit, and GG's just gonna be called by Team Sweden. They're already out of it. 21 minutes this time. They lose Rax in about 20. And he's trying to split push once again, but it's just too late. Just too late.
Dominating.
Klink's getting more kills, just farming up the base. And that's going to do it for this match. Na'Vi going to take it pretty convincingly in this particular game. Kind of just slowly pushed up the top lane. slowly pushed up the top lane. And all the players from Team Sweden are going to disconnect now. So we will get to see that scoreboard for you guys momentarily. Once again, my name is
Dire's middle
Knez.
tower is under attack.
I'm casting these EIZO Cup 8th finals here. This was a best of 3 match between Na'Vi and Team Sweden. Listed as LFG in the Join Dota match ticker. That's going to be a 2-0 victory for Na'Vi now. They take this game in 21-ish minutes. Able to just take that barracks out pretty convincingly, and that's going to do it for this best of 3. I will be back momentarily while I figure out what I'm casting next. Thanks for coming. Feel free to stick around if you want, or don't. I'm not going to stop you.